Hi, and welcome to Charts Analytics. In this video, I'll be showing you how to get signed up and a brief overview of the different parts of the app. Before we jump into that, I'll give you a brief background on myself and the app. My name is Bryce Jorgensen. I'm the founder and creator of Charts Analytics. I played 4 years of college baseball in the United States, and I'm a full-time software engineer. While playing baseball in the States, we did a lot of pen and paper charting and found it to be pretty tedious and inefficient. It was also difficult to make custom metrics such as heat maps, spray charts, anything like that. And this app aims to fix that and give users a streamlined experience with charting and custom stat creation. All right, let's get started. All right, let's get you signed up. So the first thing you want to do is open up the app and click the sign up button at the bottom. It's going to ask you for some pretty basic sign up information, so like an email and a password. And it's going to ask you for a team name as well. I'm just going to do test team for now. I just keep things simple. The next thing is going to be the account type. So there's two different types of accounts. There's a team account and a player account. Team accounts are where you can host all of your players' information. You can analyze players, enter new charting sessions. You pretty much have full control over your account with that. The other one is a player account. Those ones are free and they're for the players on your team. So each player creates an account and they sign in using specific credentials to get their stats for their team that they can look at anytime. They can't enter any new stats, but they can look at their own specific stats as much as they want. The next thing is going to be the sport. So baseball and softball are both supported on the app, and the difference between them is mainly just the different pitches that are available when you're charting. So a baseball team might have a slider, two-seam fastball, things like that, whereas a softball team would have a rise ball and pitches specific to them. So we're going to stick with team and baseball for now and click sign up. After that's done loading, you're going to be prompted to enter a season name. So the app can facilitate multiple seasons. So you can have 1 year after another on the app, as well as different inter-year seasons. So if you have a fall ball season and a spring season, you can include both of those separately to keep those stats separate, or you can keep them all together if you want. We'll just put in a typical spring 2024 for right now. Click create. After that's done, you'll be loaded with a couple new pages. These are only going to show up when you sign up, and there'll be a couple along the way that show up when new updates come through the app. So the first one here is going to be what's new. There's a couple of bug fixes with the last update, but any new things with the app that come through, you'll be prompted and show new features so you know what to do with them. Next thing is going to be a promo. Right now we have one running where if you sign up right now and click the promo, you can extend your subscription for free all the way until September 1st of 2025. Lastly is going to be the descriptions of each of the different pages. I'll go through them in depth, but these will let you know kind of at a glance what each page is going to be about. Okay, so now that you're signed up, the first page you're going to see is going to be the teams page. This is where you can see your team stats as a whole and how they're performing in different major stat categories. At the top of the page will be all of the hitter stats. So average, slugging, OPS, on-base percentage, things like that. Below that's going to be the pitchers in similar major stat categories. If you keep scrolling down, you'll get to a chart here where you can see all of the players on your team listed in major stat categories, but it also gives you the option to sort them. So if I want to see different hitters here and how they're doing in different pitches per plate appearance, I can sort them as so to see who has the most and who has the least. It also lets you sort any of the other stat categories available in the chart. Below that is going to be the game stats. This is where you can see how your team is trending in different major stat categories as a whole. So right now it's set up to runs, and you can see how they're increasing runs per game, but you can also do it for different stat categories like hits, strikeouts, things like that, and you can see how you compare against your opposing teams as well. Or you can just see yourself. You click the different icons here. This is just my team, whereas now I can see just the opponents. At the bottom of the page, that's going to stay there whether you scroll up or down, is going to be the Start Charting button. This is going to be where you start new charting sessions and lets you enter in new stats into your account. The next page here is going to be the Analyze page, and this might be one of the most powerful and important pages in the entire app, where it lets you create custom heat maps, spray charts, pitch maps, custom metrics, anything you can think of based on your current players or even opposing players. And it gives you a ton of filters to choose from, where you can search based on the count you're on. Say you want to see 2-1 counts, if you want to see players against curveballs, fastballs, where they're getting their extra base hits off of, what pitchers are using to get certain hitters out. You can search any combination of filters for that to find the pitches you want to create the metrics you want to see that are most important to you. There'll be a whole video on this after this, so this is just a brief overview of the page right now. So the next page here is going to be the games page. This is where you'll see a list of all of the live games that you've charted, as well as the overall records you've had for certain scenarios. So your total record, your last 10, one-run games, blowout games, home, away. You can see your different splits based on different scenarios. And then you'll also see the list below with the score of the game, with it being green if you won, red if you lost, gray if you tied, the team you played against, whether you were home or away, and the date the game was charted. The most important part, though, kind of comes when you click on the game. So I'll click on the Tennessee Rebels here. We won 2-1, and you'll get an in-depth game breakdown on all the stats that happened during this game. So, for instance, you can see all the splits of all the major stat categories based on how you did against your opposing team. And then below you can see the game analytics. So, for instance, this breakdown here will show you the different outs that our pitchers pitched against them. So you can see that it's pretty evenly split between strikeouts, flyouts, and groundouts. You can see the different pitches that the pitchers threw. So we were primarily throwing fastballs in this game. You can also see how the Tennessee Rebels did against us as well. The next part here is going to be looking at every at-bat in this game, or all the at-bats as a whole. So if I want to select from our team, so I'll go to the Ontario Vikings, and I'll click Bo Bichette, I can see all the different at-bats that he had throughout this game. I can see the heat maps for it, or if I want to see all of them as a whole, I'll click all hitter at-bats, and I can see how he did for this game as a whole. This gives you a lot of power of how to, analyze your games going forward, and give you in-depth insights of how to approach teams going forward. Okay, so onto the roster. This was pretty much self-explanatory. It's a list of all the players that you have on your team, as well as be able to add new players. But you can also click on each one of those players and see a custom-built metrics page for those players and how they're doing in certain stat categories. So we'll click on Jose Williams. He's a pitcher for us, and you can see different stats for him. Like at the top, you can see his strikeouts per 9, his first pitch strike percentage, very high, which is what we're looking for. And then the different pitches as well as the average velocity or max velocity. You have the option of whether to chart velo or not, so it's totally up to you. But if you decide to track that, this is where those stats are going to show up. Also, like the games page, you can see a breakdown of the different pitches and different outs he gets as a result. So he's primarily a fastball pitcher, which also tends to get a lot of flyouts. So he's probably pitching high in the zone, something like that. He tends to get more flyouts. So you can arrange your defense based on how this pitcher is pitching. At the below, you can see a couple different stat splits as well. But basically, this page as a whole is going to give you the option to see how your player is doing specifically and tailor different game models to them. Okay, so the first thing I'll show you guys is the account page. This is where you'll find basic information about your team, like team name, the expiration date of your subscription, things like that, different IDs. It's also where you're going to be able to redeem codes, start a new season, change the season you're on in case you want to switch between fall and spring, see different kind of stats, and then sign out or delete your account. There's also a verify account button at the top. So once your account is verified, this will change to blue and show that you are verified. If you click on it right now, it'll give you instructions. So I'm going to verify my account right now. I had an email sent to me on sign up. So make sure you check your inbox or the junk box for your email that you used to sign up with. Once it's been verified, I'll click refresh. And there we go. All right, so now that you're signed up as a team, I'll show you how to sign up as a player. You'll see on the screen here that I have two phones. The one on the right will be the team account. The one on the left will be the player account. Again, load up the app, click sign up, enter in your email and password. Typo there. And you're not going to need a team name because you're going to be selecting player. Keep it on baseball or softball if you want, but we'll keep it on baseball for now. Click sign up. and you'll be loaded with 3 different IDs here. So where you find these IDs are on your team account. So we'll navigate over to the right here, click the account button in the bottom right, and in the little bubble here, you will see your team ID and season ID. So the team ID is going to be used for, say you switch teams, whether you transfer in college, or maybe you age out of your team in youth baseball or softball, and you move up to another one. This will help you look at your stats with different teams with the same account. The same thing kind of goes for the season ID. So say you're in a college team and you want to see your spring stats compared to your fall stats, or even season to season, this will let you do so. And the last one will be your player ID, which we'll find last. So we'll enter in the team ID here, which was going to be M0Z1F6. And then season ID will be Z2U9D0. And then to find the player ID, you'll navigate to the roster with your team account. I already had John Smith loaded up there, so his ID is going to be below his name at the top of the page. So we'll enter that in there. And once we're all good to go, we'll hit search. And you'll be loaded with the account for this player now. Now I can see all of the stats for this player as a whole. I can analyze them in the same way as the team by creating heat maps, spray charts, pitch maps, custom metrics, everything like that. You can see the little tutorial here. And I have all the same analyzing tools that a team account would have. The only difference is that now as a player account, I can't enter in any new stats. I can't create charting sessions. I can't enter in new pitches. That is strictly for the team account. Player accounts are free and are only for the players to look and analyze their stats as much as they want. They have full control over that, and I highly recommend that teams prompt their players to sign up for this so they can make adjustments on their own without always having to come to you to look at the team account stats. It gives them a little control over their stats and gives them the ability to analyze themselves as players. All right, you're all signed up and ready to go. There will be other videos going more in depth about the charting and analyzing process, so don't worry about that if you think you missed that in this video. If you have any other questions as well, or just want more information, please visit our website and reach out to us there. Otherwise, happy charting.